Hello, man, cabbages, and welcome back to another mapping video. Just another WICSO video. If you can see, I created some provinces. Some of them. We got the purple team split up 3 main provinces, and got this area that's split between, and these two, and then red team got this interesting province, but of 3 landmasses, like this little port area, this island, and this little area. Red team's got there. Obviously not everything's done. There'd also be a province over here. Blue team has 2 big provinces here. There's a weird province mess here, which probably should have less provinces, but that's what's happening there. And I also had a couple in Mexico, meaning 4, because most of the countries are too small for provinces anyways. But yeah. So those are provinces. I updated those. Oh, and something else I also updated was trade routes. So let's start over here. We have a long trade route going to this country. It's a thin trade route. And we have a loop here. Basically, let's turn off the city layers right now, capitals and all that. We have a little loop for the alliance here. So remember the alliance. Doth not remember the alliance. And then, so yeah, they have a little line here going through their capitals. And we have loops through these 4 nations. These 4 nations are friendly with each other. They used to be part of one country. Nations also used to be part of the same country, but kind of detached themselves. This country has its own loop going between the capitals because these countries are friendly, but not the gray team. And also, mint team's kind of partially not the best, so they've been thinking of maybe, but also that would mean going through not the best, so they kind of have their own kind of loop here. And they have they've been slowly developing a route to maybe go out to sea, stop at the green team, but also the green team isn't the best, but it's better than the gray team, and then stop out here. It's get there, but yeah, most stops at the capital. And then we also have this long trade route that goes all the way through. The orange team has its own square. I was thinking they made this just recently, but this new trade route that actually connects the orange team, because the orange team's treated more fairly. This trade route is now too wide because the blue team, the purple team, and the red team are being more interconnected. So got this trade route going out here. A lot of interesting stuff. And then I updated the religions layer. We got this new religion. They believe in the god of love and fertility, so basically think of Aphrodite. So they produce a lot of children. We still got this country a lot fatter, but also very religiously divided, not the best. We got the dark orange religion that's basically spreading hyper-nationalism. We also got quite a bit of orange religion over here, even taking over the capital. So we got a new purple religion, which is still blue animism, but it's more patriotic kind of thing. Where it's oh, say, can you see? National anthem, man. Then this country has brown religion because they're kind of expansionist. Both these are green. Then we have, even though they're kind of small, they have mostly homogenous religions. These 2 ones that were fighting before, kind of still against each other. But yeah, not much is going to be happening in Mexico today. So, but before we get away from Mexico, we're gonna have our Mexico highlight update before any of this happens. Well, we have these 4 countries basically say, hey, we're not going to split up anymore. I think I actually already have that. I don't know if I already had that, but these 4 countries, so it's so we got 7 countries that don't want to split up. But speaking of splitting up, this mint country, the leader dies, the really egotistical one, and has 2 children. Then we have let's give them a nice foresty green color. So they get the south, and the south one's kind of not as good. But basically, a split is immediately shown of the ruler. Up here, the older brother is a lot more egotistical, just like his dad, and the younger brother over here is a lot more friendly. So yeah, the dark gray team ruler They've died since then, but they're still very militant. And the dark gray team seeing this, like, oh, new land to cannibalize on. But because the gray team's been expanding a lot, they don't have the best morale. Like, yeah, their soldiers are morale, but they have a lot of captured slaves. And the green team, having new good ruler, has a lot of morale. So they're slowly winning, but they use this, the power of morale, where they do a little push, but that's still not helping. But they then decide to join the Small Squares Alliance, because they're kind of like, oh, we kind of share similar ideologies, we're all good rulers and all that. So with that help, they kind of start pushing back even more, because even though the gray team's strong, especially with, oh, I did the same layer, bro. Okay, with the Four Squares Alliance, they're allowed to push back, not as strong, because what happened before is they use a lot of their military force, but they're being better at using less of it. But the gray team still unusually, like, shouldn't be scared about the Small Squares Alliance, but they kind of are, and they're actually doing pretty well right now. And the pink team also decides to break their break their front and start to move in also. They're like, whoa, 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 whoa. So they're like, nope, okay, and they surrender. Just keep those borders. The gray team, being defeated, wants to go elsewhere, so they decide to turn over here. These countries are not allied, but they're kind of like partially allied because they have trade routes with each other, so they start to attack the cream team, and they're like, whoa, 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 whoa. And they're actually in the way of putting allyship together, so to decide, because they're being attacked, it's a perfect time for allyship. So, oh, you cannot see it at all there. We have the Straight Line Alliance. Trust me, the yellow team's in the Straight Line Alliance, even if you can't see it. Where the kind of combined power, even... wrong layer again! Oh my god. Combined power, it technically won't be on the yellow team, but you can't even see it anyways, so... The combined power of the Straight Line Alliance, just make sure the yellow team's in there, starts to slowly push back. So the Small Squares Alliance and the Straight Line Alliance are actually on pretty good terms with each other, because they're both kind of against the gray team. So they're like, whoa, whoa, whoa. And they're feeling like, whoa, kind of out of options. So, still wanting to fight, even though they're losing soldiers from all these wars. They decide to go against the green team, and they initially get a good hold because the green team doesn't have many people, and they even attack from the other side. And the leader of the green team, being the eldest child, is not kind of cocky, as we've seen with a lot of eldest children. So they start to actually get until they reach near the capital region, which is a lot more fortified. So they eventually get into a stalemate, and they're like, okay, peace. Like, the green team's like, peace, peace, peace. So they eventually accept it. So they actually gain land, but after so much fighting, they need to recoup. But after that, also, the lighter gray team decides to expand this kind of ugly tumor-looking thing. So does this light green team decides to expand. Also, and the bluish, like dark bluish team. No, not really that dark, but grayish blue team. So, yeah. So expansion. So that's basically our Mexico update. Oh, also, let's give them a little bit more land, because trade routes are helping to grow their nations. Yeah, for those they're good enough. But because of this hyper-nationalist uprising in the orange team, what World War Germany? No, this is still not World War because it's still only one continent. But I should probably do a Europe thing, but Europe hasn't been doing much right now. Orange team, and they officially declare new state, which I would say they changed flags, probably. I was thinking of making a bunch of flags from the WICSO countries. That would be really cool, but I don't know, tell me in the comments if you want that. But the orange team decides to go after the country. before that, the orange team, seeing the leader actually over here likes the orange team also because they're a new orange team religion, they decide to unite. Yes, we got new unification. That looks kind of ugly. I need a better dark orange. There we go. They unite, and honestly, now probably the most powerful country, because like they've been saving up military. The other teams are kind of like scared of them, and kind of what happened with Germany. They're like, okay, give us this country. Give us like the not all of the country, but the areas where they dominate, which is like here. So they just want to get up to these areas basically, so they can take back some of their population. So they're like, we want this, and they're like, okay, and they're like, we get this, and then we don't attack anyone. They're like, oh. Doy. And we don't attack them. And they're like, okay, not this, but like, they're gonna like play nice. They're not gonna attack. They declare war, and quickly, yeah, let's just say this might have took like a week or something, but it did not take long. They're like, whoa. They actually attack them, and they're kind of like, and they start attacking the yellow team to get back their minority areas. And this yellow team, well, basically they were already crumbling because they're expanding out too much. So it causes a rebellion. Let's have a pink rebellion, because actually I don't think we have any pink here. But like pink rebellion out of the territories over here. And they're, after this like rebellion, they're like, just can we please stop? And surprisingly, they do actually get it done, because they don't want too many impures, because they think that people not of their religion are impure. Yes. So seeing this as a threat, even though typically the blue team, so we already have the alliance here of these two countries. Well, actually, now it's just wrong layer again. This country, and we also have the light blue country over here, which is kind of like semi-aligned, and the lavender country. So these two countries, and then this country, which is kind of crumbling, so they decide to leave the alliance. They're like, oh my god, we need to. So the square alliance, feeling really threatened, decides to expand, and the purple team, this is a rare thing if you know the history. The purple team, the blue team, and the red team all unite, which is, I think that's the first time that's ever happened, because historically they're not really liking each other. But they see this as a massive threat. And kind of what happens with Germany, the blue team wasn't really prepared for war, because they have not gone in war for a while, and the orange team has been advancing their war tech. And so they basically, they basically blitz through Germany, with also some help from the light blue nation over here, or blitz through Germany, no. Blitz through the blue team, which probably would happen than this, and until they get over to here near the capital. But then they take the capital, all with like the soldiers over here, because the soldiers of the dark red team are heavily trained. That's kind of how they are. And the lavender team, while this is happening, they kind of have territories over here that's like part actually probably more of that religion, but like more of their religion. So they decide to attack the purple team because they want an excuse to expand also. And the orange team part over here decides to also help with that, and they eventually cut off all the aid to the lower part of the purple team, which wasn't as helpful, but you know, kind of how it is. Still, it just collapses under the orange team, and is set up as a puppet state. So the dark orange ones are basically puppet states. So yeah, it's not looking good. The blue team over here has been kind of hanging on because they haven't really been warred against, but the orange team slowly expands into them, which is going a lot slower because the blitzing of, you know, these countries have kind of slowed their pace down, and also the blue team has a really excellent navy, so they're able to take the inland parts, but they still are able to keep their ports because their naval power is like pretty strong, so they're able to keep the ports over there. Water god, please save us. Because they believe in the water god, and it's not really working. Yeah. It's not working. But meanwhile, it's in the yellow team. The word has not got out yet because it travels by horseback and is slow. And in the yellow team, they decide to keep on expanding because the new group of people are feeling inspired. So they set off and expanding, and coincidentally, at the same time, a group of explorers from the orange team, from the weird orangish team over here, decide to also expand because they're like, oh, we feel inspired to expand, until they meet up with each other and they're like, wait, other people? There's other people here? And they're like, what? Gasp. And eventually they learn that, like, oh, you know, war's happening. And they actually contact, like, these new teams, and like, have no idea what's going on, but they're kind of not as advanced. Like, not super less advanced, but they're like, hey, if you help us in this war, then we'll give you a crap ton of money. And they're like, it's not on our continent, but let's do it, because the rulers want money. Some of these countries are a bit aristocratical. Mainly the brown team wants money, the dark brown team, these teams. So actually, with help, it's more of kind of like mercenary help, where it's just you pay them, not really, they're not aligned, they're more of just paid soldiers. A huge wave of soldiers come down from the yellow team. They're not actually yellow team soldiers, but they're like, the orange team was not expecting this because they thought the yellow team was out of the war, and it actually goes surprisingly well for just some mercenaries, and the orange team was kind of caught off guard, and they don't know how many more they have because they didn't even know about the Mexico thing because they didn't tell them. Actually, most people here didn't, only the leaders here knew about that. So the orange team is forced to like put up resilience here, and they do pretty well back because they didn't actually realize it was just mercenaries and wasn't as much as they thought it was. But so they actually push pretty far back, but then another wave comes and like, because this war has already been kind of dragged out. They were planning to do kind of sleeping fan stuff where like, we'll get it by Christmas, guys. But this allows the blue team, with the help of the purple and red team, to take back their capital, and also take back this area pretty decently. And the purple team releases a counter-offensive on the lavender team, but also there's still quite a few warriors over here. But the area that was expansioned over here, so basically this province area over here, I was just saving a map of the orange team at their height, so I can have that for later, but the area over here that was kind of already partially rebellious, and also, like, so there's, okay, bearings, bearings, new kind of gray team over here, because the other gray teams in Mexico, and I need more colors, decides to rebel because they have disputes. Seeing this, a lot of people, like, there's still an orange area over the coast, but a lot of people down here decide to also rebel and bring back the dark red nation because they didn't want this, the new god mumbo jumbo, like, no. They were more on the god of death, not the not the god of death, god of warfare, damn, not orange team's god of death. They're like, hey, and they also actually help liberate, like, this. No, they don't do that because they're not focused on that yet. They try to, attack back and liberate their lands. So the orange team having fight a lot. Purple team also with the orange team over here not really contesting them. They take back the land over here. It's still kind of weird because the dark red team's still, like, not giving up this part yet, but still pretty going well. The purple team takes back lavender team's old capital. That's not their capital anymore because they were forced to move it before. And the blue team eventually makes it up to here and takes back this part of land. And the light blue team the blue team actually makes a big counteroffensive on the light blue team, and the light blue team kind of like, not even being completely allied, realizes they're kind of cooked and surrenders. And then we have a large counteroffensive from the blue team over here, and the lavender team, realizing we're kind of cooked, is like, hey, no, we're gonna retreat. So the orange team is all alone. So yeah, this new Gray Rebellion is starting to help over here and go, and more waves of mercenaries from Mexico, which is so kind of crazy. They're still like a far distance, and start to parade in and take back yellow team lands. So yeah, good for them. Mainly from the brown team, yeah. And then the blue team takes rather up here. And also the indigo team manages to raid their capital from a naval landing. And they're like, okay, we're cooked. We just gotta surrender. So they surrender. So this is gonna be a long peace treaty. So I'm gonna have fun drawing that one. Okay, welcome back. This is basically what the new world looks like. So it looks a lot different. Basically, we got this, starting off, this new, rebellion keeps. So the dark red team's like treated as a partially like a winning team, but also a losing team, because they allow this rebellion kickoff, and the dark red team's like, okay, even if they did that, they probably would have rebelled anyway, so they didn't even try. Dark red team's got a bit of this area, which is kind of like weird. Purple team, not biggest fan of that. But the lavender team really wanted their capital back, but they did not get it. The purple team is now taking their capital. I'm gonna have to update the province borders now, which I kind of just made. Ooh, that province needs to be cut up. But that's gonna be fun. Blue team expanded definitely a bit down here. Then we have the green team over here, which came from the light blue team. Because, they got split up, and the new kind of split up area from the orange team. But now, they're still keeping trade flow in through the orange team, even demolishing, even down to demolishing this trade route, and then making, that's orange. Making a new trade route to go through the country so they can get more flow, because last time they made a super nationalistic ideological thing, so they still have a new breakaway, but they're trying to make them less ideological. The indigo team also gets more coastal lands over here. The red team, honestly, the red team did not get much. Red team red team didn't do as much, but let's just say the red team gets monetary benefits, because they're still trying to take monetary benefits, but not as much. But the main area that they're actually going to be getting monetary benefits, oh yeah, the rose team is still here, is Mexico. They're gonna make a hot new trade route, guys, like where connecting these to Mexico and America kind of stops here for refueling. There's two routes you can go. You can either go the short naval journey to the island, or you can go the long way around the Thundering Lake. So yeah, naval trade routes. That's actually probably our first naval trade route. But so yeah, Mexico and South America are connected. So that's cool. Good for them. It is really good for them. But also something bad that's happened, because after all this, the brown team was sending a lot of mercenaries, and the public's like, wait, why are you killing our soldiers for people that we just met? So they decide to break away and form a new state. Kind of what happened with the dark brown team, basically just dark brown. I like kind of poop brown. They make, this city right here their capital. If we get this 70%, and then get this up to 5. So this is their new capital area. So yeah, good for them, not good for the brown team, because they kind of just helped the country and got crippled, even though they are getting more money, so they do get the monetary benefits. So yeah, another thing happening in Mexico. This country is, well, actually, trade hasn't really gotten that much yet, but probably next episode, there's probably gonna be an economic boom next episode, hint hint. Hint hint, wink wink. So yeah, people are happy now. The orange team has a new ruler, and it's going back to a new flag, because, you know, after all that happened, you know, the old ruler was kind of controversial guy. Too many parallels. But yeah, no, the economy is doing well. So yeah, and let's do our quick Euro check. So the Nile country down here continues to expand on the Nile River. I'm gonna roughly trace the Nile River. I don't know, I'm not the best at tracing rivers. But, you know, I wish they had the Nile River marked on here. But 'tis but a shame. So they, you know, follow what would presumably be the Nile River. Probably not actually, though. But, so yeah, we got blue team expanding, and the red team, expanding more northernlywards. Because, you know, they decided to expand, because they can't really expand on their main island now, because, you know, Cyprus is kind of small, and they are taking all of it over. So yeah, that's what's happening in Europe. And that will probably be all, so goodbye, my cabbages.